everyone, how you doing? Hope you're having a great day wherever you are in the world. My name's Ben. I'm the founder of Boring Crypto, lead educator at Drift Exchange and Lumenswap, and I am a passionate commentator on many things in the cryptoverse. In this video, I'm going to be talking you through 4 projects that are going to be moving to a DAO system in March of 2022. Today is the 1st of March, so it's only days away now that we see these 4 stellar projects move into this community governed system. Before I get into that and which projects these are, let me tell you that nothing you're going to see is financial advice. I'm just a passionate crypto student and I've been in the space for approaching 5 years now. I've had wins and losses, and those wins and losses have led to some experience, and I hope to pass some of that on to you so you can navigate your journey through crypto with the least amount of friction. Use this video as an anchor point of your own research, and good luck with your crypto journey. Okay, so with that being said, the boring part's out of the way. The 4 projects that are going to be launching on the Stellar Network in a community governance system are as follows. Lumenswap is going to be the first one of these 4. Now, Lumenswap is actually the project that is building out this decentralized model of governance. A DAO stands for a distributed or decentralized autonomous organization, and what this essentially means is that members of the community are the ones that are driving the ship. Yeah, people can make proposals for the development, and the evolution of the project, and then other members of the community can vote on this. It's called more of a purist democratic model. However, they still do come with a couple of caveats you need to be made aware of. The first one of these is if you have the proposal token, so the amount of tokens that you will need for a proposal to be too low, you just get spammed. You get every single spammer and dredge of the crypto community coming out making proposals for that protocol or for that project. Now that's not useful, is it? It's not useful. It's useful because you're being inclusive. It's not useful because you're not really getting anyone that's committed, that's passionate, that really has the project's best interests at heart. So what you have to do is you have to set a higher amount of token holdings to avoid those spam proposals. By doing that, you're not being inclusive. So do you see what I'm saying here? If we're talking about a distributed model that's inclusive, a lot of people say, oh, DAOs. But DAOs aren't necessarily that way in kind. We've seen a couple of failed examples of DAOs that have been manipulated by whales on the Stellar Network already. I'm not here to talk down about different projects, so I'm not going to mention those by name, but we can see that when you start getting a few people with huge amounts of crypto holdings, that can manipulate the direction of rewards, it can manipulate the direction of projects. So we need to be a little bit mindful about the system that is going to be utilized and the community proposals that are coming forward, right? Well, anyway, Lumenswap are building this system, and the way that they're going about it is they are inviting certain projects to come on board with them and to have this new model, which is great because what it does is it allows the community to have a voice. If the community want to aspire to get a certain amount of tokens, they can have more of a voice. So the bigger holders are going to be having more of a say in how matters are done. But what it's doing is it's coming away from the centralized nature, the hierarchical model of having a centralized team at the top of the pyramid, and it is actually starting to distribute the governance model over the whole community. Of course, the bigger holders are still going to be the ones that are going to have a bigger say, but the smaller holders in a collective or cooperative might be able to have their say if they work together to vote on really positive proposals, right? So there's good things and there's bad things. As always in my videos, I try and be as objective as possible, even though I represent some of these projects I'm talking to you about today. I try to be objective because I think there are plus points to this, and I think there are negative points to this. In fact, that is pretty much my view across global politics. I don't think there's one sort of politics or one sort of governance model that is without its problems. And I think this is, again, the same. Some people have said, why don't you have one wallet, one vote? Well, there's nothing then to stop me setting up 200 wallets for 200 votes. So there isn't really a simple solution to this. But guess what? Lumenswap are bringing it to the table on Stellar using the Stellar Ledger, so utilizing the Stellar Ledger again for another cool tool, yeah, that we can not just use with Lumenswap, but other projects. So with Lumenswap, lots of Lumenswap about. Lumenswap is about providing solutions. For me, I'm trying to be unbiased here, but I firmly believe that Lumenswap is the flag bearer of the Stellar network in terms of projects. I've looked around, I've been open-minded, and there is some ones that are concentrating on liquidity and others that are concentrating on NFTs and others that are concentrating on cross-border payments and, a whole variety of different projects, some that are based in Africa and some out in Asia and ones that are involved in like trading stocks. And there's a whole host of really cool projects, but there's no one out there that I think is solution finding as quickly and effectively as Lumenswap. Lumenswap was the first Stellar project to come up with a decentralized lottery model. So the first decentralized, or the only decentralized lottery at time of recording, is with Lumenswap. Lumenswap is also the first place to launch an auction or a launchpad platform. This enables new projects coming to Stellar to apply to Lumenswap, and Lumenswap can then have a look at their matrix and see if they tick the boxes and see if there's someone that they would like to help launch their token, launch their project, and become a verified asset on Lumenswap itself, which is something to aspire to achieve. We've also got the NFT marketplace, which currently is private. There's a selection of, or a collection, should I say, of Lucy NFTs. These are really sought after on the Stellar network and have really got out like a bang, many of them selling for several $1,000s. So we've got that. We've also got the access points to the SDEX, the automated market making functionalities, the swap and the spot and the trading charts. There's the Academy, so they bring some education to the table. They're constantly launching new documents to teach us how to use Lumenswap, but also how to use the different functionalities of the Stellar Ledger. So you can see here, Lumenswap are bringing a whole selection of different things. And they've done that throughout 2021. In 2022, the DAO is the second of the big features. The first one was the launchpad, the auction kind of platform for other projects. That came in January. March is the second one of these, and that's going to be the DAO. And then we're going to be seeing the anchors and bridges and the public NFT marketplace. So artists can come and they can put their collections on Lumenswap's marketplace, which I'm really excited about. Also, we're going to be looking at bridging and bringing liquidity into the Stellar network, and of course, lending and borrowing, which is further down the track. But all of these things you can see now are a whole plethora, right, of different tools that can be used by a variety of people across Stellar. And these can really be utilized to help level up the whole of the Stellar network. Yeah, so this is something, as I said, I see it as they're the flag bearers of the projects on the Stellar network. I don't know anyone doing as much, as effectively, as quickly, right? So Lumenswap is the number one, and they're the ones that are building this. But Lumenswap have said to a few other projects, you come with us first. You are going to be the ones that we trust, that we like, and that we want to give you the ability so that you can also use this DAO system of governance, right? So away we go. Who are these? Well, the first one is the sister project of Lumenswap, or brother project, whichever way you want to go about it. Rabbit is a set of open source wallets. Now, there are closed code wallets that can access the Stellar DEX, and there are open source wallets. The great thing with open source wallets is they are permissionless. You don't need to be putting in any details. You don't need to be having to think about your financial sovereignty or your data protection or anything like this, because anyone can set up at the moment a browser wallet with Rabbit. Soon they're going to have a desktop wallet, and shortly after that they're going to have a mobile wallet as well. So anyone in the world can access the Stellar network. They've brought in some really cool things recently, such as the ability to swap assets from within the wallet. We don't actually need to go to a swap such as Lumenswap, Stellar Term, Stellar X, or any of these, Nice Trade or anything. We don't need to go there. We can swap right within the Rabbit wallet, so the extension wallet, which I think is superb, especially when we get to a point of being on a mobile device. It might be that you want to do a quick trade on the SDEX, you've noticed a price has peaked, or you notice a price has slumped and you want to buy in, and you can just do that action right from within the wallet on your mobile device. And that's coming halfway through the year. So this is the one that Lumenswap has kind of tied in very, very tightly. The first partnership Lumenswap had when they launched was with Rabbit Wallet, because they saw the benefit of having an open source set of wallets with their clients. Remember, there's a couple of steps needed for every user to get involved in the Stellar ledger. And the first step is you need to have a wallet. The second one is you need to have an access point. That access point is, as I say, one of the clients is Lumenswap, right, that we can access the SDEX with. So that partnership is very strong. Rabbit Wallet for me is very, very simple. It's very, very easy to use. I really, really like it. It's one of my, well, it is my go-to extension wallet for the Stellar network. Moving on. So that's the second one. Yeah, so we've got Lumenswap, we've got Rabbit. Moving on, we've got Nuna Project Art. Nuna Project Art is a little bit more complex. Yeah, there's a lot of layers of what they are trying to do. They are trying to provide liquidity to their assets, so they're going to be giving away some great liquidity rewards, which I'm really excited about getting involved in their liquidity pools. But they are fundamentally about cultural heritage. They are a collection of international artists. Yeah, a really, really great bunch as well. Fantastic bunch of people there who I've made friends with numerous members of that collective, and I think their talents, the spectrum of their artistic talent is literally just mind-blowing. But they're about protecting cultural heritage and international art using the Stellar blockchain. That is really what they're about, at a fundamental level. And they have been on Lumenswap's radar since the early days of their launch, because I think Lumenswap are also an international team that is very passionate about art and very passionate about culture, and also very passionate about privacy. So when they see these people and they see, what's happening in the centralized world, where in a lot of occasions, big centralized corporations and institutions can take a lot of that, cultural, whether they're relics or art pieces, etc., and kind of take them away from, a lot of eyes, or certainly put some layers of complexity for people to actually view them and enjoy them, then Nuna here is saying, well, let's protect that. Let's stop these pieces going international. Let's get them on the blockchain so we can put ownership to them and more people can enjoy them. And I'm really, really glad that my path has crossed with Nuna, because I think that, we're in the middle at the moment. I've said this before, of a new digital renaissance period. A period when we're seeing NFTs and the way that NFTs are going to be revolutionizing the world. Many NFT artists right here with the Nuna Project Art. Yeah, and I think that we're now seeing almost like a repeat of that, Renaissance period we saw several hundred years ago, where the greatest thinkers, philosophers, artists kind of came together and created this new era for humankind. And I think we're in that now with blockchain technology, AI, machine learning, VR, AR. And if we can get the right balance, we can use this technology for a utopian existence. If we obviously allow this technology to become into the wrong hands, this is not necessarily going to be very fruity for us in the future. I think people like the collective here at Nuna are going to be some of the most forward-thinking people on how we can evolve and how we can, come together and bring a really peaceful and prosperous future. So, as I said, a great, great project I'm proud to be associated with in some small way. And finally, the fourth one of these DAO projects that is going to be launching in March 2022 is Drift Exchange. And being one of the core team at Drift Exchange, along with Phil and Sir Cheesley, it's an absolute honour to, first of all, in our first month and a half, to be listed with Lumenswap, so to be recognized by Lumenswap and to be listed as a verified asset there. So they got the trust in us that we were building something of value. That was the first step. But then to be considered in this small group of DAO projects that they're going to be launching, when there's many, 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 hundreds and thousands of projects that have been built over the 7 or nearly 8 years of Stella's existence as projects on top of Stella. We are one of the 4 that has been identified to be part of that small club with Lumenswap. So we're thrilled about that. We're looking forward also because Drift Exchange, what it is it's an NFT showcase platform, I would essentially say. So we have our private gallery where we can showcase some of the best NFTs on the whole of the Stella network. We have a foundation where we find artists, and we've just recently found a really cool artist that's been found for us by one of our team over in Romania. And we've just got that artist to start creating some NFTs and bringing those NFTs onto the Stella network, which we're really delighted. So we showcase artists. That's what we do. We help them, we fund them. We have a monthly budget that we can pay to artists to create NFTs for our community. And we do digital collectibles and we do NFTs, so one-of-ones, and we do 4 of each every week. So we're bringing minimum of 8 new pieces of art to our community on a weekly basis. And that's how we kind of really, where our concentration focuses on. What we also do is we also bring games, because we think there's nothing better than fun, right? So we bring games to people. We've got the X races that's going on during March, and we've got the Extreme Crew, which is an exclusive collection of NFTs, the most exclusive on the Stella network. And these have a variety of different benefits and bonuses attached to them, including puzzles and games. Almost like, if you remember, if you're old enough, the Choose Your Own Adventure stories, some of that's now starting to come in to those puzzles and games. So yeah, we're ticking many boxes. And finally, the box that we're also wanting to tick is to use art and to use our community to increase the liquidity on the Stella network. We want to incentivize people to provide liquidity so that we can swap assets and we can trade between different pairs, and doing that with our Drift token as a reward, but also with these digital collectibles. So we want to give people art for providing liquidity. That seemed like a fair deal to us. And it's been working exceptionally well. We're delighted with the first 2 months and the way that things have gone, culminating, of course, in this great inclusion in the Lumenswap small family of projects that are going to be having this DAO. So how we're going to be doing it is we have set our price reasonably high for you to make proposals to stop the spam. We've been asked by Lumenswap to set our own prices. Each of the different projects has a different price to make proposals. So with this being said, some projects are going to be less that you're going to need in terms of dollar value of their token to make proposals, and others are going to be a lot more expensive. For example, Lumenswap, with everything they're doing, is way more expensive than Drift or Nuna. Drift and Nuna are much smaller projects in terms of buying potential, in terms of marketing budget, than Lumenswap. So it's a lot less for people to make proposals on our projects, but we still want to make it fairly high so that we got rid of that spam and we got genuinely interested people wanting to see the evolution. But of course, being an NFT platform, there are a whole host of different things that we can bring to the table. And many of these things that we can bring to the table, we haven't even thought of yet. We are, excuse me, we are relying on our community to come up with these, cutting edge ideas and, this innovation, bring them to us and get the rest of the community to vote on these different proposals to then make the project even better still, to encourage more artists from other networks to come into Stellar, to help more artists who are not making NFTs to start using the Lightning platform, and to bring more liquidity into the network. So there's lots of things there that we're trying to do with Drift Exchange. I hope that that's kind of given you maybe a little high level into these 4 different projects and what they're about, and also like a little understanding. As I said, I tried to be as objective as possible with my take on these distributed autonomous organizations. There are plus points, there are negative points on pretty much everything in crypto, on pretty much everything in life, right? Depends on how we look at it. But I think that this can be really positive, because I think when we feel as though we've got a voice and our opinion and our ideas are being listened to, and the best ones of those are being acted on, I think that makes us really even more ingrained, even more invested, not just in financial terms, but invested in like an emotional investment in these projects to see that they are successful over a longer period of time. Thanks for watching, guys. As always, if you really enjoyed my content, please drop a comment underneath. Yeah, give us a like, give us a subscribe, and even possibly share this content with other people if they weren't aware of these 4 DAO projects that are going to be coming to Stellar in the next couple of weeks. Take care, have a great day, and I look forward to catching you soon.